Welcome back to the Parc de Princes this morning, Wednesday morning, what most of the Newcastle fans are calling the scene of the crime from last night. Kylian Mbappe's 98th minute penalty, giving PSG a point in the group and leaving them in control of their own destiny, meaning that Newcastle, even if they win against AC Milan in the last game, may not qualify for the knockout stages. Bitterly disappointing result for Newcastle, given everything they put into the game. But before we get on to that, you can just see behind me Christmas trees. Christmas trees arriving this morning here at the Parc de Princes. Festive season, of course, getting underway. Many will say that Christmas came early last night for PSG with word of that penalty, but yeah, there we are. Christmas trees arriving here at the Parc de Princes. I also want to show you this. This is L'Equipe, of course, the famous French newspaper that you can see there. And on the front page, there it says it in the corner there. Miracle of the Park. Miracle at the Park, should I say. Their destiny is in their own hands. Kylian Mbappe wheeling away there to celebrate. So yeah, that's what the French thought of it. And inside, you can see their man markings. They've given Miley, the 17-year-old Champions League, youngest ever Champions League player for Newcastle United, to start a game. They've given him 4 out of 10. And they've given Almiron there 6 out of 10 and Tino Livramento 5 out of 10. So perhaps they were watching a different match than what I was, but there we go. So that's what the French are saying. But yeah, just according to the rules, as I say, there was a bit of dubiety last night, and although both Eddie Howe and Nick Pope, when I spoke to them after the match, said that they believed the referees had got it wrong, it can now say this morning for sure they definitely did get it wrong. I've spoken to a couple of referees myself who referee at the highest level, who say that that was a mistake from the VAR, the officials, last night. And I think for Newcastle, yeah, devastating, given the fact that it wasn't actually a decision by the referee. The on-field referee felt that it wasn't a penalty. It was only once VAR intervened that it was then given. So, you then bring into question whether he felt sort of pressurised to give it. We don't often see referees being sent to the monitor sticking with their on-field decision, and again that was the case last night. And the ramifications were just so huge for Newcastle with regards to the group. So the actual laws, which you can confirm, the 3 things that they need to take into consideration according to UEFA guidelines are: 1, was it an intentional handball? Of course it wasn't. He was sliding in to try and block the cross. 2, the proximity of the defender to the attacker, and as you could see there, Dembele, I think it was, with the cross, was just a couple of yards away from Tino Livramento, and he didn't have enough time to react. And the third was his arm in an unnatural position. I have to say, for someone sliding in to try and block, he didn't move his arm away from his body to make his silhouette any bigger. He's got it in a natural position, but that's the third thing that referees have to take into consideration. It feels as though that is probably the reason for them giving it, but for me that's not an unnatural position with his arm up like that. I don't know where else he is supposed to put his hand. So reading between the lines, that is what you would expect. Dale Johnson from ESPN has actually put out a bit of an explainer today, and he's when it comes to these matters, laws of the game, refereeing, etc., he's a bit of an expert, and I think it makes a lot of sense when he explains it the way he does. He says that that meeting that took place in April regarding the ball touching the body and then hand never resulting in a penalty was recommended by the UEFA board to UEFA in April, but yet it hasn't been implemented yet. So that is what Dale Johnson is saying there. He's pretty hot when it comes to this sort of thing. So that would suggest if it's not been implemented yet, then a penalty can still be given if it touches Tino Livramento on the chest and then his arm. If that had been implemented like the recommendation said, then that goal would not have been allowed last night. But just looking at the different reasons as to why that penalty could have been awarded, reading between the lines, to me it feels like the only reason it has been given is because they felt that the defender's body, Livramento's body, was in an unnatural position. But I just can't see why that is the case. And you know, the fact that the referees, the VAR has been taken off his Champions League match tonight would suggest to me that UEFA feel that, you know, there has been some wrongdoing last night and a mistake was made. So yeah, maybe not quite as cut and dried as we said earlier. There is that grey area there that the recommendation has been made, but yet it's not been implemented yet, and it might be that it's implemented next season. So I mean, like the whole rules of the game have just been so butchered recently that it's actually exhausting trying to get your head around it. I don't know. I mean, for me, trying to understand it's so difficult. So God only knows how the referees and the officials deal with it, because they must have a lot going through their heads during a game. And, you know, I think we need to just get it back to a more simple version of what the game used to be, because yet again, I think Eddie Howe said it a few weeks ago, we're coming out of games talking about referees and VAR decisions rather than talking about the brilliant goalkeeping of Nick Pope, or the alertness of Alexander Isak, or the work rate of Miguel Almiron, and it's quite sad that that's what we're doing. So anyway, just thought I'd come on with that update about the VAR situation regarding the referee tonight, which might, you know, explain a few things. And, you know, we could talk about this till the cows come home. We probably just need to, you know, like Eddie Howe said, accept it, move on, and realise that these things happen in football, and decisions have gone against Newcastle, they've gone against other teams, they will go against and for Newcastle. Look, I'm sure teams have come to St James's Park, smaller teams before, and been on the end of what they think are unfair refereeing decisions. It happens. It's just, I think, the magnitude of the game last night and as I say, the ramifications of that goal. So anyway, that's a wrap from me from Paris. Thanks for watching. As ever, if you haven't subscribed, please do so. Leave a comment below. Hopefully you can understand my ramblings on this. I'm pretty tired, only had 4 or 5 hours sleep, so trying to get my head around it myself and deal with obviously all my Sky Sports News work that I need to do. So yeah, heading back to the northeast from Paris later on today. It's been a crazy few days, really busy few days, but rewarding at the same time. So yeah, as I say, leave a comment below, give us a thumbs up, please subscribe if you haven't done already. Hopefully that's cleared up slightly, although it feels as though there is still a grey area there, and look, it's always probably going to be the case, isn't it? Decision making when it comes to football is never cut and dried. But what I'm going to leave you with is I'm sat here in my hotel room in Paris near the stadium, and not made my bed yet, but there we go. I'll show you just a lovely view out the window here. So it's just that window over there. I'm going to show you this lovely view just to end on, which I've had for the last 3 days. Been very fortunate to be able to see the Eiffel Tower from my hotel window, so that's been nice to see. So I'll leave you with that now, as I am over and out from Paris. Cheers guys, thanks for watching.